Well, hey folks, welcome to streamingchurch.tv, our live video blog. My name is Phil Thompson. It's a pleasure to be with you. And as I always say, we do this live every Thursday evening, or almost every Thursday evening. And we will archive this, and so you can see it later on YouTube, or you can go to streamingchurch.tv and look at our recorded videos. And today I am flying solo. I am going to be doing this solo today, and we're going to do a little more Q of A. This has been a kind of a popular subject in our theme in our streaming video stuff. We've had numerous guests on in the past, and we'll have some more on here in the near future. So it's great to be with you. So here's how it goes. If you are watching on our platform, our streamingchurch.tv platform here, you've got some chat and different links like that. And so you can simply ask me a question on chat by typing it in. Now, if you're watching on maybe something like the iPhone that just has video, or Roku, or maybe you're watching on Facebook right now, which is just video, so you can't chat, so too bad. But you can always send me an email, support@streamingchurch.tv. That's support@streamingchurch.tv. And of course, we're live right now, so we'll try to answer those questions. But if you're watching this, obviously, in an archive form, you can still send us an email anytime. Then we'll get back to you with the question. We'll reply back to you, email to email, or even call you if you want. So what we do with this program is it's primarily involving streaming video. We're a company that helps churches, ministries, and small businesses stream online, and we also have websites, and so that's primarily what we talk about most of the time, although there are times we talk about other subjects. Usually it's having to do with your church-related stuff, so whether it be music, lighting, sound, technical stuff of that nature, computer stuff. So you can feel free to ask us questions. We will do our very best to answer them for you. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? All right, so I got a question here from David, who's asking me, we're considering streaming in HD. Can you give us some information? Well, David, the issue here, when people are streaming, churches particularly streaming, you have HD or you have SD, standard video or high definition. And the truth of the matter is high definition is not really high definition on the web, but it is considerably high quality. The issue, though, kind of comes down to this: it's bandwidth. It's all about bandwidth and your bit rate. So if you want to stream it in an HD type of deal, it's going to take a lot of a bit rate, and it's going to take a high upload speed, and then you have to consider the fact that you've got to have the equipment to process all that, to get it from your camera through switchers and into your computer. And again, that's very possible, and our company can do that for you. You can stream HD with our company, streamingchurch.tv. The other thing you have to be concerned about is people on the other end who are viewing your stream in their networks have to have their internet service providers have to have good speed to be able to do that. Honestly, you can do this, but I would strongly recommend that you use standard definition, SD. You can really do a lot of stuff with SD and make it look good. You can change your pixels, your input to a 720, and there's a lot of things you can do with the player. And then we recommend your configuration at your location, at your church, wherever you're doing this from. We really recommend FireWire. And so there's other video capture devices out there. If you've been on this, if you've watched this stream before that I do, we recommend the Grass Valley video capture device, and that is ADVC55, Grass Valley ADVC55. Grass Valley does a good job. It's obviously it's going to be composite, or S-video on one side, and then on the other. Oh, I've got one right here. Imagine this. It's going to be composite on one side, and then it's going to be FireWire out. And I'm going to lecture here for just a moment more about FireWire. FireWire is a very good source to use for streaming. It's a different input than USB. If you have a Mac or a computer with a tower, you can easily put a FireWire card in there for about $35, $37, and it just processes the data much better. And so we would recommend that. There are other ways to do this, yes, and we can help you with that, but I'm talking simple here. and yet you can still get a good quality from it. So I hope that helps. And David, you can just email us to support@Streaming Church TV for more information. All right, moving right along here as we go through some questions here. Good to have you here. If you just joined us, I'm Phil Thompson, streamingchurch.tv, talking about streaming video and technology for churches, ministries, and small businesses. If the new Androids don't have Flash, how can they view streaming services on your site? Well, that's a good question, because we do have new Androids are coming out. They've done away with Flash now on the Androids, and the truth is there's other ways to skin a cat. HTML5 is the way to go, and now on our platform, if you have an Android that does not have Flash, a new Android, HTML5, it should pick up the stream. It should be able to view it and see everything that's going on and hear it. All right, so there's Flash is being kind of phased out on the Androids, and of course we are compatible with the iOS, iPhones, iPads, and those kind of things. All right, so if you need more information on that, get with us on that. Some phones, some of the older Androids don't have Flash at all, and some of the older models, the older operating systems, can be a problem sometimes. So if you're having issues, let me know. Support@streamingchurch.tv. All right, thanks, George. What's the difference? Question number 3 here as we move along here. What's the difference between your company and the free streaming services out there? You mean there's free services out there? Yes, there are. There are companies that do free services. Well, first of all, you're not going to get any pop-up ads with streamingchurch.tv. The free services are going to have ads that pop up. I can tell you stories from customers that changed over from those so-called free services over to us, and they had some embarrassing ads pop up in their stream during their Sunday morning sermons. Ads that featured scantily clad women, condoms, and other things. Okay, so the free services aren't always what they're cracked up to be. If that's all you can afford, then you're going to have to deal with that, and you got to do what you got to do. But with Streaming Church TV, you get no ads. You can put your own ads in there for your church. You can encourage people to go to different spots on your church's website. Unlimited viewers with us. A lot of these free companies have a limit on their viewers, and there's another catch to that. You might say, well, their limit's 100 viewers, and we don't have 100 people watching, so no problem. However, sometimes you get people that log on and watch your stream, and then they log off for some reason, or they get bumped off, and then they come back on, and guess what? The company still thinks it's a new IP address or whatever, and then you may only have 30 or 40 people on, but if they have to log on 2 or 3 times because the service is so poor, they get stuck and can't get on because the company counts them as another IP or whatever, and so it goes over 100 real quick, and bing, you're done. So that's one issue. Quality of service, I just mentioned that. We have great quality. We have great servers out there that can handle a lot, and some of these other companies that are doing some stuff for free, and even some of the ones that aren't doing stuff for free, you'll notice now that football season's starting to kick in, there can be some problems. There are people out there, for however they do it, are streaming some of the football games, college and NFL, and it takes away their bandwidth and service. Their servers get taxed, and so there's issues like that. So keep that in mind. Also, with streamingchurch.tv, you get customized platforms. You can do a lot of things with our platform. We have chat, we have tabs for the Bible, a map, interactive stuff, and you can customize the skins. You can even customize the platform to some degree as well. So you can embed it right on your existing website. So there's a lot of pluses coming with us, and the one thing I always push is customer service. I am real big on customer service. We're not perfect, but we sure try hard. I hate bad customer service. I'm sorry. I just detest it. I can't stand it when I go somewhere to a restaurant and I'm not taken care of, or if I'm on hold with somebody that I can't understand when they do get on. And it's just a struggle with customer service today with companies in America. And a lot of the customer service is being farmed out to other countries, as you probably know. Streaming Church TV, that is not the case. We're going to take care of you. If you don't get us the first time on the phone call, leave a message. We will get back to you in a timely fashion. We promise, and we do that. So, and even on the weekends, we're 24/7. So when you need us, we are here for you. Email, customer service, text, and all that stuff. And you know, when you work with us and you're setting things up with us, you'll have our phone numbers and text numbers and email addresses and all that. So we really kind of like to work on relationship. We're relationship oriented. That's the way we think life should be anyhow, and so you can get to know us a little bit, and we are there for you. So that's one of the advantages of going with somebody like us, streamingchurch.tv, as opposed to a company that's free, or even some of the other companies out there that are pretty big, but they do so many different things. They have their hands in so many different things, and the streaming deal is just one part of that, and they have other things, and so they're stretched pretty thin. So we do streaming and websites. And we also do mobile apps, and that's basically it. That's who we are. So, all right, good. All right, thank you, Bill, for that question. Let me go over here and look here. Don's got a question here. If I have, say, cable modem and can deliver high upload, what do you recommend as the highest upload speed? Well, honestly, if you're streaming, really, I wouldn't go much more than 600 or 700. I mean, you can do more than that, 600 or 700 kilobytes per second. My church, my personal church sounds like I own the church. My church that I attend, I also work at part-time on the weekends. We stream, I think it's about 300 kilobytes per second, maybe 350 now, and that's what we stream. And it really it makes it easier for everybody. We have good lighting, pretty much. Well, we have pretty good lighting on our platform. We've made some adjustments over the last year or so, and probably need to spruce it up a little bit. But if your lighting is good on your platform, on your subject, you know, the person that's talking, if your camera is really good, you don't have to stream a ton of kilobytes per second. I mean, 300 or 400 really can do it. And when you go higher than that, it can be a problem for some people. I mean, it's true, it's 2012, and internet service providers seem to be doing better now than they did 5 years ago or whatever. So the networks aren't too bad, but there can be times where you're in a neighborhood and your bandwidth's not good, and so you want to make sure that that you set your encoder 300 or so, 350 at the most, I would say, and you could do less than that and still do good. If you set your encoder that way, then you kind of keep everybody happy. And yes, you can do more, and the higher the bit rate you have, usually the better the quality of the picture. And that's providing, of course, that your camera's good, that you've got good lighting and everything's perfect on your end. Then you can stream higher and get a better, crisper, clearer picture. One thing to keep in mind, really, when you're streaming to like a monitor here, a computer monitor, or your iPhone or iPad or whatever, it doesn't have to be a huge, a lot of bit rate. In fact, I'm getting tongue-tied here. Now, if you're streaming to a big flat screen, maybe going to another campus or something like we actually used to do, then yeah, you want to kick up the bit rate, and because you've got a big, huge flat screen, and you definitely need the bit rate's going to be a big part of that. So there's some stuff you need to do too. If your settings on your player, your picture on your player, for people when they log on, they see the flash player. If it's really huge and your bit rate's not enough, then that can be a problem too. Then you can get pixeling. So we can help you with that. You have questions, we can kind of walk you through it. Sometimes you just have to make some adjustments, a little bit of trial and error, and work on some things during the week so that you get a pretty good picture. So I hope that helps. Thanks, Don. Cable modems seem to be quicker than DSL. I have cable here at our office here, and then we actually are using cable at my church now. We used to use a T1 line, which isn't as quick, but is supposed to be more consistent. One of the most important things with streaming is your internet speed has to be consistent. Again, you don't have to have the fastest speed in the world, but you should have something that's going to be consistent. And let me just get on my little soapbox here and just say that if you're streaming at your facility, at your church facility or wherever it is, and you've got a bunch of people on your network at your church or wherever it is, that will shrink the bandwidth, And so keep people off your network when you're streaming, because that will guarantee, or at least help you, give you a much more better chance of success, because your bandwidth won't be shrinking. When everybody gets on at your church, the bandwidth will go down and shrink, and it can be a problem. And that can be true even in the people around your neighborhood. So it's a challenge at times. The T1 lines that we used to have supposedly guaranteed us so much bandwidth. I forget what it was, 500 or 600 kilobytes per second. They lied. They didn't do it. If I could be blunt about it. All right, so let's move on here. Thanks for watching. If you just joined us, I'm Phil Thompson with StreamingChurch.tv. This is our live video blog, and we're taking questions. If you have a question, email us at support@StreamingChurch.tv, support@StreamingChurch.tv, or if you're watching on the Streaming Church platform here, you can type in the question here. All right, I'll go back to the platform here. What am I streaming at right now? I am streaming at 350 kilobytes per second on the video end. 350 is what I have my encoder set. I also, because I'm streaming so that people can see us on the iPhone and the iPad, I have to change the audio bit rate to 128. So the total here that I'm doing, for your information since you asked, the total is, I'm at 478 kilobytes per second. That's video and audio. That's the bit rate. And that's a little high, but that's okay. I just do it because I can. If that makes any sense. But if you're going to stream to the iPhone, the iPad, and you are not using AAC audio, you're using MP3, and then you have to set the kilobytes per second to 128, and you have to set well, since I'm on this subject here, let me just tell you what it is. The format's MP3 on the audio side. The channels have to be at stereo, and the sample rate has to be 44,100. And as I said, the bit rate needs to be 128. That's in an MP3. Now, if I had a Mac machine like my partner Steve Lacey has, I would just set the format for AAC and be done with it. AAC processes things a little differently. So, all right, guys, taking questions here. Thanks for being with us. And let's move on here, if I can do so, as I'm rambling on here. Next question. Do you have to be a church to use your streaming services? Troy, the answer is no. You don't have to be a church at all. You can be a business. We have a couple small businesses. We have some counselors that stream with us, and you don't have to be a church. You can be anybody out there. You could do your own show like I'm doing right now. I'm not a church. All right, so yeah, absolutely. Good question, Troy. You don't have to be a church to use our services. Another question coming up from Richard. What does a church mobile app do, and what does it cost? Church mobile app. All right, good. We always like to talk about that. Church mobile apps are really cool because we will, at Streaming Church TV, we will actually customize a app for your church, and that app will help. You can customize that app and do it pretty much whatever you want it to do within reason. This is an app. You're not going to be able to see this probably, but this is our Streaming Church TV app that is free. Anybody can get this. Go to the Apple Store or go to Google Play. You can't see it because the picture's not very good here, but you can, I'm sorry about that. So what you want to do is for your church app stuff, let us know if you're interested, because the church apps will do a lot of things. First of all, they just make it so easy for people to connect with your church. You can customize your church app to connect to different things on your website, your church calendar, your newsletter, events going on, special activities. You can make it so that it connects with that. If you're streaming, doing live streaming services, you can. It's easy. Somebody just pulls it up, pushes the button, and they can watch the stream. Or they can look at the recorded services. So there's a lot of variety of things the mobile app will do. It's just, you don't have to have a mobile app for people to see you streaming. They can just open up their phone, find their browser, go to your website and go there. But it takes a little while to do that. Plus with the app, it's right there. People can do it. You can do devotionals on it. It's right there. Click of the button, couple punches of the button, and you're there, either streaming or whatever you want. So the church app thing is a really pretty cool tool. It's available on Android. It's also available, that's the Google Play Store. It's also available on Apple. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Support at streamingchurch.tv. And we'll build you a mobile. Oh, what does it cost? The cost of the app, if you're a customer of ours, the cost is going to be $799. If you're not a customer, the app's going to be $1,499. Okay, that's really a pretty good price. If you look at church apps out there, mobile apps, they're going to go for anywhere from $900 up to a couple thousand or more. There are some apps that I saw one the other day. It was for like I think $500, but it was only $500 per whatever system you had. So like if you wanted to have it on the Apple, it was $500 for the Apple devices. If you wanted it for the Android devices, then it was another $500 for that. And then it was plus there was a subscription every month for it, and plus it was limited. It won't do what ours will do. So that's kind of the going rate for some of those ones, and then they jack it up later. Ours is just one price. So keep that in mind. I mean, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but I think it's pretty good value for what it is. So if you're interested, just get a hold of us, okay? All righty, as we go through some questions here tonight, Q&A with Phil Thompson, streamingchurch.tv. We're talking about streaming stuff, video stuff, website stuff. We'll talk even about your dog if you want, okay? No, we won't. Do you stream to the iPhone and the iPad, Sasha? Yes, I think I mentioned that, but yes, we do. And again, I mentioned earlier that you can set your encoder, your live encoder. In order to stream to anything, you have to have some type of an encoder. We recommend the Adobe Flash Media Live encoder, but there's other encoders out there, Wirecast. Gosh, there's a ton of them. There was one I saw the other day for gaming people, and I actually downloaded it and streamed with it just to try it. So there's lots of encoders out there, but the Adobe Flash Media Live encoder is free, and it's pretty powerful for what it is, lets you do a lot, and you can stream to the iPhone, the iPad, and other things with that device, okay? Thank you, Sasha. All right, how do I do lower thirds on my streaming video? How do I do lower thirds on my streaming video? Well, lower thirds, by lower thirds, Leon, I'm assuming you're talking about text that would be under, the lower third of the video picture, text or Bible verses or whatever you want to put under there. And the way to do that is to have a couple devices. You could use a switcher that would enable you to take slides and things that you would make and be able to impose those over your picture coming in, and then you use your switcher to do that, and it goes into your computer. There's a TriCaster that has some options that you can do. We have a TriCaster at my church, and we have to have another computer that sits next to it that's a live text computer, and so it kind of integrates or interfaces with that. I wouldn't recommend that, but that's what we do. We don't like it. We kind of bought it, and now we're not happy with it. Wirecast is another one, another encoder that's software that you can download on your computer, Wirecast. And Wirecast gives you the ability to do that as well, lower thirds. It gives you, it's kind of like a switcher and encoder all in one. And so you can do that, and that's one option. I think there's a couple other ones out there as well. So yeah, you're going to have to either get some additional software encoding to do that, or additional hardware to have lower thirds. Or you could do this. You could put you could put something up, and you could just have the guy hold it like this, and then that would be the lower third. But that's probably not what you want to do, right? Sorry. My attempt at humor, not good. All right, we got a few more minutes left. We're talking Q&A here on a Thursday evening in Tucson, Arizona, where we are from. How long have you been in business? Robert's asking that question. We have been in business since 2001. Streamingchurch.tv, the parent company is JSL Solutions, and founded and president and founder Steve Lacy started JSL, I believe 2001, maybe 2000 now. I've known Steve since the mid-90s. Met him in my church here in Tucson. I moved away, moved to Kansas, and started a church, and about that time he started JSL Solutions and started doing websites that were very, very interactive. myflock.com, and we still have websites today that are an awesome tool, great church management tools, and some really cool features on myflock.com. And we actually integrated the two. So if you are a streamingchurch.tv customer, a lot of the MyFlock tools are available to you. In fact, they're all available to you actually, and we actually use a lot of MyFlock's platform. So you'll see, like when you're using logins and stuff, it will say myflock2 or whatever.com. So Steve started JSL Solutions in 2000, 2001 doing interactive websites, and honestly, he was really ahead of his time. This is before Facebook, before MySpace, and Steve's vision was to help churches connect and help people within the churches connect with each other through profiles and chat and lots of different things like that. And so we still have myflock.com, and people still sign up and use it today. And the streaming church platform started, I guess, probably about 4 years ago now. And so we have been around for a while, and I've been working with Steve here for about 4 years, and I've known Steve for about 15, I guess. So we've got several people that work with us here at the company that do a great job. So, alrighty, as we move in here, just about out of time. Do we need a license to stream music? Do we need a license to stream music is Jerome's question. Jerome, yes you do. You should be, if you're streaming live music, you need to have a license to be able to stream that. Now, up until about a year or two ago, you had to have a license with a company called Copyright Solver. Copyright Solver. If you need more information, it's copyrightsolver.com, and they had a WorshipCast license, and it was not cheap. It was kind of expensive, depending on the size of your church. That made you legal. About a year and a half ago, maybe, CCLI came out with their own streaming license. CCLI has been around for many years, and they're the company that gives you permission. If you're going to reproduce sheet music and do things at your church, CCLI is the company that you use to be able to legally do that. Well, CCLI has come up with a streaming license much more reasonable, although it's only Christian music, and it doesn't always include every Christian song, but it's mainly Christian music. Where copyrightsolver.com, their WorshipCast license covers everything, including secular music. So if you do secular music at your church, and who would do that? You would have to use copyrightsolver.com. I make a joke here because somebody that's watching you would know that we actually play a secular song once in a while in our service, so at my church. I won't tell you what it is, though. All right, so about out of time here, guys. A couple more questions for you here. I need some extra help in setting things up to stream. Do you provide any training? Linda, I'm so glad you asked that question. Yes, we do provide training. We have free webinars that we will do, and we used to do them as a group, and now I've just found that it's just better to do it individually, one-on-one. So you can actually have a Streaming Church TV live demo / webinar, and we'll give you some login information, and you can hook up with us. You'll be able to see the screen. We'll walk you through it. We'll talk with you on the phone as we show you things and answer your questions. And so yes, we have training, and if you don't do the webinar, we are still always available either by phone or email all the time. So that's not a problem. We're very anxious to help people set up. We love helping people set up their streaming, and that includes websites too. So by all means, please take us up on that. Sorry, my phone's ringing here, but we'll train you on that. Okay, one more question. Do you guys have websites and other stuff? Henry. Yes, Henry, we have websites. I just mentioned that. This question came in earlier. So we do have websites, myflock.com. You can do a free trial for 30 days. That includes our streaming platform. If you want to stream with us, you can do it for 30 days free of charge. And we just ask that you don't do big, huge conferences and have thousands of people online during the free trial, because it costs money. You know what I'm saying? So, but we do websites, and you can try it for free. And again, it has church management tools in it. It has all sorts of great features to help organize your church with groups and communicate with people. And the finances setup is really cool. A lot of hard work has gone into it over the years. And so, yes, we have websites, we have mobile apps, and we have streaming. That's what we do. So thanks for that question, Henry. Check us out. myflock.com is the website side of our company, myflock.com, and streamingchurch.tv is our streaming side of the company. So there you have it. All right, guys, I am just about out of time here. It is always good to be with you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. And this will be archived later. You can find us on YouTube, or you can just go to streamingchurch.tv and look at our recorded services, and you'll see this up here as well. So again, thanks so much for your time. On behalf of Steve Lacey and the whole crew here at Streaming Church TV, you guys have yourself a great day, a great evening, and happy streaming.